Welcome back, guys. In this video we are going to see files and folders activities in Automation Anywhere. Okay, under view all you can find files and folders activities. So here we are going to discuss about all the files related operations. Okay, so let's start with the folder operations first and then we'll go to file operations. Okay, now first option is create folder. Okay, I may not be going according to a sequence, but I'll be going according to the sequence that how a human behavior is along for the folders and the files. Okay, so first we have to create a folder before we can edit it. So in case if you have opened it from somewhere else, you have to choose folder so that you will get these options. Okay, now browse for a folder where you want to create. You may not be knowing the exact folder name, but at least you will be knowing a little idea like where you will be creating. For example, let's say something like sample data. So this is the folder, so you can create this folder itself again, or you can create some subfolders inside it. So I'm going to create one subfolder called say May. This month is May, so I'm just giving a May. Okay, then we can override the folder if the folder already exists in that path. Okay, so this is the folder we were talking about. So here let me delete these two folders and we are going to create a folder called May in this directory. Okay, now let's copy this path. It will be useful in the future. Okay, so now save and save the task. Give some name like file folder operations. Okay, now we have saved it. So if we run it, it should create a folder in there. Okay, now let's run it. So it's taking a moment to start. Now the process is complete and it will create a folder in the given path. So if you see here, you can see a May, a folder. Okay, so let me delete this one or let it be there. We are not worried about it. Okay, now let's go back here. So once we create a folder, then we can use a rename folder. Okay, so let's rename the folder. So the folder, the old name here, we have to provide the old name. The old name is, I already copied the path, right? So I pasted it here. So it is users desktop / sample data May. And what I want to change it is in the same path, I want to change it something like April. Okay, so I want to change it to April, which means that the folder in here will be changed into April. First it will create, first it will create a folder called May, and if already exists it will override it, and then it will rename that particular folder into April. Okay, so in case if you want to have a little clear idea, let me add a little delay between these two commands so that it will be, so delay of 50 milliseconds. I want to have 5 seconds at least. Okay, so we have to add 2 more zeros. Okay, so that's when the 500 milliseconds becomes 5 seconds, because milliseconds divided by 1000 becomes seconds. Okay, now save, which should be in between the first and second. Okay, now if I run it, before running it, let me delete this May so that we'll get better idea. Okay, now let's run it and go to the folder we are in. Okay, the process started here. You can see first here it should May should come May, and after 5 seconds this should be changed to April. Now it got changed to April. Okay, so this is how you can rename the folder. And then you have copy folder. Okay, so you can copy a folder from somewhere else to here. Okay, so instead of, let's see that. So here we have two folders, one is a screen capture and the other one is April. Okay, so now I want to copy this screen capture folder into April folder. Okay, I want to copy it. I'm not moving it, I'm just copying it into April. Okay, so the source folder is where the source folder is present. So here in the sample data we have a folder called screen capture. Here you can see it. So now let me change it to screen capture. Okay, the destination folder is May, not May folder, but April folder. Okay, so inside April it should put the screenshot folder, screen capture folder. Okay, so again we have option that in case if you want to override, we can override it. Okay, now press on save and save the task and run the task. Let's go back here. I deleted the April, I do not want. So first it will create a May folder and then it will rename to April folder, and now it got renamed. Now this will be copied into here. So the process is complete here. Let me open April folder. So we got the screen capture folder and inside that there are 2 PDFs. Okay, the copy is working fine. So here again one quick assignment for you guys. Think about how to emulate move folder or move file. Okay, so when we move one folder to another, the base folder should be moved out. Okay, how will you simulate it? Think of it. So if you did not get it, the simple idea is copy the folder first and delete the folder. Now it looks like we have done a move, right? So the next one is, we have seen create folder, rename folder, copy folder. We can create a shortcut for a folder. Okay, let's bring that. The source folder where to which we want to create a screenshot is D drive. Okay, the destination folder is here, where in what location we want to create the shortcut, and this is the location to which we are going to create a shortcut for, and this is where we are going to create the shortcut file. Okay, so it is in April file. Okay, save. So last time I have deleted this April folder, okay, before executing, just because I have deleted here in Automation Anywhere, this particular point we are renaming one May folder to April folder. If you see here we do not have an option for overwrite it. Okay, so because of which what happens is it will try to overwrite, try to rename it, but already the folder is existing there. So what happens is it will throw an error. Okay, in case if you want to see that error, we'll emulate it in a minute. Okay, first let's create the shortcut here. Okay, so we want to create a shortcut inside the April folder. Okay, let's save, but before that let me see here. So here we have to provide the folder name only, not the file name. Save the task and run the task. Let's go here. So we don't have a May folder. Now May got created and it will be changed to April, and the screen capture will be created inside April. Also the shortcut should be there. Here you can see shortcut to D. If I double click it, it should take me to D drive. Now it's taking me to D drive. Okay, so yeah, let me come back and delete the April folder. For example, let's keep the April folder. I pressed Ctrl Z to bring back the April folder. So here you can see it. So here you can see the April folder. Now if I try to run, we will get an error at the line 3. So let me run it, and so that you guys also can see it. So if you try to rename a folder to another folder name which already exists, then you will get an error. So May got created and it will be renamed to April now. It will at least try. Okay, it tried, but it says that unable to rename a folder as the destination path that sample data /April already exists. Here the folder already exists, and if we try to rename this folder as April, then it is going to have a conflict. That's why we got an error. Okay, you press OK, that's all. Okay, that's why I used to delete the folder there. Now what the other task is present is delete folder. Okay, we can delete a folder. Okay, so I'm going to bring it before the delay. Okay, so which folder I want to delete? I want to delete a folder called April if it already exists. Okay, press save. So now delete folder, you can do it. So what happens now, it will create a folder May, and then it will wait for 5 seconds, and then it will delete a folder called April if already there. Otherwise what it will do is it will fail normally. So it will fail in case if the folder is not there, but if the folder is there, it will delete, and then it will change the May folder into April, and then capture screen capture folder copy into April folder, and then we create a shortcut for D drive inside the April folder. Okay, so now save this file and run. So let's go back to sample data. So here we already have a April folder, so May folder is already there, but it will override it. Okay, May already exists, so let's see in the first one whether May is where over here. See, here we have not checked it, so now I'm checking it. This time onwards, even if there is a May folder, it will override it, but that does not happen in case of renaming. Okay, so the process got started here. You can see black screen. Now 5 seconds delay, and delete the April folder now and rename April to May, sorry, May to April. Okay, so inside April we should see screen capture and shortcut to D. Okay, yeah. So these are the actions that you can do, and there is one activity that I missed, is this open. I have not missed, I have actually missed it intentionally, because this open folder does not have any value. Okay, so that's why I intentionally missed that particular thing, and will not be covering, and it's waste of time as well, because even if you use it, it does not give any output. Okay, now second, so once we have this thing, let's talk on the files now. Okay, so again starting with as the process that normally a human will use. Okay, now let me remove all this stuff. Let's have only simple way, because I don't want to clutter the tests or the tasks. Okay, so first we will create a May, and inside May we will create a file. And what is the file? So inside May, if you want to create, we have to go inside May, and we have to provide a file name. So what is the file name? Something like say 12345 dot txt. Okay, this is the file we are going to create, and we are going to override if the file already exists. Okay, now save. So if I run it, inside the May folder there should be 12345 file. Go inside here in the May folder, which there should be 12345 file. Okay, so it is present. Okay, so we can give something like test file, that will be better for naming. Okay, so now we have created a file. The second thing, we want to rename a file. Okay, so which file we want to rename? So here if you read it, it says rename files rather than rename file. Okay, so which means that we can rename a single file as well as multiple files. Okay, so first we have to give the source path. So inside May we have test.txt, and the new name that we want to have is new test.txt. Okay, so here we are renaming only one single file. Okay, now save the task and run the task. So first it will create a May folder. If already exists, it will override. Then it will create a test file, and if exists, it will override it, and then it will rename that test file into new-test file. Okay, so let's go into the main folder. Here you can see new test file, it got changed. Okay, so rename is done, but in the rename itself, if you want to perform multiple, okay, so for example, let's talk something like, let's create okay, so we have 3 files which is of text format. Okay, now I'm going to rename all of them. Okay, so to rename all of them, you can put star to rename everything, but you can put star dot txt to rename only dot txt files. Similarly, you can put dot pdf to rename all the pdf files. To what we want to rename, so here we want to rename it as same star dot bak, I don't know, something like, let's say log. Okay, dot log files. Now save the task and run the task. I interchangeably use task and bot, so please refer the same thing when I use both the terms interchangeably. Okay, here we have test file only. This is not something we are expecting. Okay, inside me we are expecting some log file, but what we see is test file. Quite interesting, isn't it? So it is not renaming the files, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so let's remove all this stuff, just only give star dot log. So as they have given in the example, let's save. Okay, save the task and run. Okay, it is not working. Some mistake that we are making, I'm not sure what. New file name, say something like, rather than using this one, QWERTY, let me use QWERTY and save. Let me change it into multiple files, because I was wondering. Yeah, let's run it. That is true, only txt file will be present. So it got changed to QWERTY, but only one file, because we are recreating the folder again and again, so all the things are getting deleted. Let me remove this step. Okay, now I want to change this. Yes, let's refresh, rename to something like test. Okay, now we have 4 copies. Here, instead of putting QWERTY dot, so put a star in the front and save the task and run. Let's see how many files is going to be there. Okay, now the process should got started. So test QWERTY. Okay, star is test, it seems, and only the last file name it took, and remaining thing it ignored. Or maybe because here we have the last file name here, okay, that as a star, and then it copied the QWERTY.txt as one file. So even though you have multiple files, it's just changing into one single file. That you guys need to be aware of. And this one is quite weird. Okay, because if all the files are changed into one single, then we are going to lose all the files. So this seems like little bug, but anyways, okay, so when you have one file, it will work fine. So the next one, let me delete this rename files. Okay, now we are creating only the txt file or whatever it is. So now consider that we have like 3 to 5 files. Now let me disable this and let me bring zip files command. Okay, here we have seen copy files. I don't think so we have seen copy files. We can copy the files. Okay, so let's learn about copy files. So here we have to provide the base path. So here consider that in sample data there are more files so that we can copy. Source file name is 001.pdf. okay, so this is present here. Okay, so this file we are going to copy into the April folder. Inside April we are going to copy it. Okay, so override if the file is present. Now save the task and run. Now we should see 001 pdf here after the process ends. Now 001 got copied. Okay, similarly you can create a zip files. Okay, so you can create a zip file for all the files or for a single file also. Okay, so here specify the files to compress. Okay, so here we have to mention all the files, or you can mention the complete folder. Okay, sample data folder, or you can mention April folder. Okay, so the file type, so which are the files you want to zip? So now I want to zip txt files only, and if you see it inside April we have 001 as one pdf, but we do not have any text files. So here we are giving text files, right? So let's bring few text files from sample data. So I'm going to copy 3 May pdf and name file, these 3 files into April, so that we can experiment the zip. Okay, so I want only these 3 files to be zipped. Okay, so now go to automation anywhere. So here in this folder I want the .txt format files and specify the destination. We have to provide the zip file name. So here in the same folder I'm going to create a zip file which is says all-txt.zip. okay, here you have to provide the zip extension, otherwise it will not recognize. Okay, so I'm expecting all-txt.zip file inside the April folder. Now save the task and run it. Let's go to April. So let the process start here, and once it ends we should see a zip file. Now zip file got created. Oh, why? Seems an issue, but it shouldn't be giving any issue, right? There is no issue also we got. So there is here also it's not got created. Here also it is not there. I mean in April. Okay, so when we are giving multiple files it's not taking. So it says zip file, destination is this. So let me zip all the things present in April. So now I have removed that extension type and all. So let's see whether it works. Okay, save the task and run. This time we have a zip file which is nothing but a complete April folder. Okay, so a complete April folder got zipped. Okay, let me see whether we are making some mistakes. So here let me add a trailing slash so that it will consider that as a folder and this as the file types. Okay, so that was the mistake we made last time. Let's save the task and rerun it, but before rerunning it delete the zip file. Okay, now rerun. Okay, still we don't see it. So there is a problem with there as well. Either you can zip all the files, okay, or you cannot zip any file. So for example, let's say we have a file right here. Let's say provide a as the a star. Okay, now I'm going to give a star dot txt file. Okay, so I'm going to save. So what it means is any file which has a in the name and .txt as the extension, a after any letter. Okay, so let's run and see whether it creates or not. If it is not creating, it's really quite a bug in Automation Anywhere. It is not creating and it is a bug in Automation Anywhere. Okay, so even if I remove the slash, I don't think it will work. This is a good thing that we found. Still it's of no use. So let's move to the next command. So zip file does work only for two purposes: when you want to zip a single file or when you want to zip all the files in a folder. Okay, now we don't want that zip thing anymore. And similarly you can unzip the files as well. For example, let's zip all the files here and delete all the files except PDF text. Okay, now go to unzip, use the unzip files and select which zip file we want to extract. So here we want to extract inside April, we want to extract PDF-text file. To which folder? To the April folder. Overwrite the file in case if already present. Okay, now save the task and run it. So this time it will extract all the content of this PDF in here. All the content has come. Okay, so in case if you want to delete a file, use the delete files option, and here you can mention exactly the file name, or you can mention the all the files. For example, let me put it star dot, let's go with the star itself. Let's delete everything in that folder. Okay, save. So I'm expecting that all the files here should get deleted other than the folder screen capture. Okay, other than screen capture, everything should be deleted. So let's run the task. Now let's go to April. See, everything got deleted except screen capture and its content. So in case if you want to delete the screen capture folder, you can use the delete folder option. Okay, so and there is one more option called open file. This is bit useful only, not that waste. But so first, let's say in some data we have a file called 3May. Okay, let's open that file. Okay, so open file is nothing but it will just to open the file. That's it. Save. Now let me comment all these things because we don't need it. Okay, so this last comment is independent of other comments, so let's delete it. So what it does is it goes to the folder and it just opens the file. So here you can see it right here. The same thing will happen when we use open file command in the Automation Anywhere. So let's run it. Okay, the file got opened, but when we are using the open folder, it was not working. Basically it is not giving any output, but with the open file it is opening the file as just like an user. Okay, so that's all about file and folders with respect to Automation Anywhere. We'll see in next video. Thank you guys.